Yes. Ready.
Ready? All right. I'm going to call this meeting order of the Shepherd City Council. Thank you all for coming out this evening. We are going to begin tonight's meeting with the invocation. Mr. Porter, will you do the invocation for us?
Heavenly Father, we thank you for bringing us back safe here again tonight. Just pray that you would guide each and every move, every word that we say tonight, that we would keep you in our minds and on our tongues as we do your business, Lord. Make the city thrive and help us to make you proud in all that we do. In your honor, we pray. Amen.
And now the pledges.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Honor the Texas flag. I pledge allegiance to thee, Texas, one state, under God, one and indivisible.
All right, so we have someone signed up for public input. Mr. James, what do you have for us this evening?
My name is Mark James, and just out of curiosity and preparation to coming to this meeting, I looked at the agenda of the last meeting and noticed that zoning had been discussed as a topic. I just wanted to address my opinion on that. I've lived most of my life in Houston. It definitely has its downsides, and I'm concerned to see zoning and those type of ideas coming to a small town like Shepherd, because living here, one of the positive attributes of living in a less populated area is your ability to have choices of what to do on your property without bothering anybody else. I have a half-acre parcel directly behind my house that I intentionally left unused because I want the option of doing with that what I would like in the future if I choose. My grandfather raised calves on it, raised other animals, he had gardens. I like those options, and I don't want to be in an environment where I lose those options. And so when I saw the topic of zoning come up, it really raised some concerns with me. But I'd never thought that this town would start going in that type of direction. And I completely understand nuisances and things like that, but I would ask that the council be very considerate of keeping the small town lifestyle and the options available to people who choose to live here. Because that's one of the things I enjoy of being here, is the options available to me as long as I don't hurt anyone else to do on my property what I want to do with it. That's all I have to say.
Thank you. All right. Reports. I don't think. Where's no Matt?
He's
here.
He was here.
He's up right here.
All right. Well, no reports for council this evening. Item 7, old business, discuss and take action on a food truck ordinance permit. So, council, I believe we tabled this last meeting to give it more consideration. Kenneth, do you have anything else to add?
I do have an added update here. There is a bill that is moving through and has passed the House. Now it's going to the Senate. And basically what that bill is essentially going to do is House Bill 2844. If it passes the Senate for this legislative session in 25, what it's going to essentially do is, well, in short, gut a city's ability to regulate them, other than what the state says. So, we can still pass what we have drawn up. That other bill has not passed the Senate yet. It may not. over the last 5, 6, actually a little more than that years, the state has been really seeking to gut the authority of local municipalities to regulate their own cities and have it all done at the state level for whatever reason, good, bad, or ugly. But this is another one of them moves which they're seeking to do that, and it's already passed the state house. So I'll leave it to the council to decide, do we want to pass this ordinance now to hold everything over? And it may be good enough. If this new bill doesn't pass the Senate, then we can just stick with this ordinance and keep rolling. If it does, we're going to have to back up, reevaluate. I'll have to write an amended ordinance to basically mirror the state's ordinance, the state statute. So council can decide whether you want to table this until we see if that other bill's going to pass, or go ahead and pass this ordinance and amend it later. Thank you, state legislature.
Any ideas on where we're going to vary from them?
Quite a bit. And when I tell you, basically, you're not going to be able to do permitting fees or any of those things. You're going to only be able to do certain things that require that you're going to have to make sure they have a food handler's license and they've had the proper inspections, and that's going to be just about it. Now, other than, well, I don't want to open that can of worms, but other than zoning locations of where they can be within the city, that would still stand. But we're working on that on at another area. But I've been reading both sides of the arguments of this bill, and it's going to basically take away, if it passes the Senate, it's going to take away anything but the 2 or 3 things the states are going to allow you to do to those food trucks. That's it. And we're going to have to follow. You're not going to be able to. They're right in the bill, the preemption clause. You're not going to be able to go any stricter than the state law. So, not saying it's 100% going to pass the Senate or that the government's not going to veto it. I'm just saying that that's where we're at. It has passed one of the houses, and we're waiting to see how it goes in the other. So I'll leave it to the council to decide. We want to adopt a food truck ordinance that's pretty much in line with everything every city in the state's been doing up to this point, or do you want to wait and see what happens with that bill? It's not really a big issue either way. If summer's coming up, and it may be 2 or 3 months, and we may be in winter before they get this bill, we know what's going to happen with this bill, and you want to regulate these things for the summer, let's go ahead and pass it. We have something we can operate under. And that way you have a set of rules you can enforce, operate under, keep it going, and I can amend it later. So, there you go.
Council, thoughts, questions?
I think we shouldn't waste our time and pass it. I think we should just wait until it comes down. I mean, it's not a big issue right now anyway, right? I mean, honestly.
That's your decision. I'm just giving you what all the jackass lawyers are doing at the state level.
Right.
So you don't quite know what the state level is.
We're
You
not.
might know, but
No, we don't know yet. And it's going to be about 75% of that ordinance that most cities operate off of right now will be gutted.
I'll make a motion, we table it until they pass it.
All right, council, we have a motion to table the food truck ordinance.
I'm kind of like leaning towards going with our attorneys on here and doing what we already have here. If this is what everybody else in the state has been operating under, and it works. When, let's say the Senate passes their version, does that mean this is no good anymore?
If they pass it and the governor signs it and it goes in effect and then after this next legislative session, yes ma'am. But that ordinance will be null and void by act of state law.
Right.
They could change wording in there between now and then.
It went through one house bill and another. It may be a whole different bill by the time it's done. But you know how that works. I don't have to explain that that clown show to anybody. But we don't know. I left it here on the, I just wanted to leave it here because my thought was, we don't know if it's even gonna. It may die in the Senate, and that's the end of it. So, you can put this in place and operate under it, or you can wait.
We're talking, what, 2 or 3 months?
Yeah, again, you know, at that level, like everybody else knows, we don't know.
One of our biggest concerns, as I'm recalling, was about the requirements for grease traps.
Sure.
The state's not going to have anything requiring on grease traps.
Okay, I'm telling you that right now there is a half marked up version of it that has made it to the Senate. We don't know what the final product is going to look like. I mean, you're asking me to tell you what's going to be in the cake that they're still baking, that they're still doing the mixture on.
Making laws and making.
I do know that from everything that I've read on it over the past few hours, especially, it's part of that push to go. They're gonna. To make it easy, they're gonna cut out a lot of your ability to regulate those food trucks at the local level. It's gonna be state level regulation, and that's gonna be the issue. And so either way, with what all the majority of cities have been doing in the state of Texas, if we adopt this, we're gonna be on par with everybody else. Now, that's gonna have to change, just by nature of what's in this bill. At this stage of the game, we don't know what, again.
Well, let me say this about grease traps, because I think there's a miscommunication. If you have a fryer, you have to dump it in a grease above ground thing, and somebody comes and gets it and hauls it off. It does not go down in the city sewer and all that. The food trucks are self-contained, period. You have to have, before you get your license, you have to have a place to dump it. It's got to be inspected by the health inspector, and she does come around periodically when the food trucks are open. So, as far as the grease traps go, I mean, it's supposed to go, above ground, like I said. It's not supposed to go in the tank.
Matt, can you clarify, because to my understanding, so behind, can I use your restaurant as an example? So you have the grease container behind the restaurant where all the fryer grease and everything else goes into.
Right.
But each restaurant and food truck should have a secondary embedded grease trap in the sewer system itself to kind of get any kind of extra grease that goes down the drain.
Right. I mean, you can't just have a restaurant just put up no grease trap. I mean, what if we adopt the ordinance?
Yeah, regardless.
Well, I can tell you, you're going to get some form of grease in it.
But TCEQ is going to be involved.
Yeah.
And they have been involved. This is not going to be something at that level with the water quality and the environmental stuff, with the dumping the stuff down the drains. We just don't know what it's going to look like. I'm sure when you get to that high level stuff, it's going to be in there. But I'm just telling you, as far as the ordinance as a whole that we have, if we adopt it, it's subject to change. Just know that. It changed a lot.
Every ordinance.
Yeah. Again, I was just giving you the information.
Okay.
Do with it what you do.
I'm kind of in this Combs side on that one. I make a motion that we adopt the ordinance.
Well, procedural wise, there was a motion on the table to table it. If there is no second, that motion dies for lack of second. Would you like to entertain a new motion?
Yes, I would make a motion that we adopt the ordinance that was previously provided.
All right, council, we have a motion to approve the ordinance. We have a second. All those in favor?
Who knows, maybe we'll give the state some guidance on what they need to do.
Yeah, good luck with that.
All right. Ordinance passes. All right, this brings us into new business. Discuss and take action on the manufactured home variance for Daniel Landverde on Ross Street. Do we have Daniel here this evening?
Motion that we table it.
Second. All right, council, we have a motion and a second to table the motion or the agenda item. All those in favor? Item is tabled. Item 5B, discuss and take action on a manufactured home variance for Mia Boyd at 670 Railroad.
Hello, good afternoon.
Hi. How are you?
My name is Maya. George Boyd is spelled like Mia. So I would like to put a manufactured home on 670 Railroad Avenue Street. I inherited some property from my grandparents. I've maintained the taxes on that property ever since they passed away. So I have tax proof that it is current. I do have the specs for the home that I would like to put on there. I'm originally from Shepherd, Texas. I live in Dallas, Texas right now, but I have a 4-month-old baby, and I want to get that close to home, so I want to be able to start putting some roots here.
How big is the property?
So I have 0.2583 acres there. And so there was a house on it previously. The house I tore down because it was just not livable anymore, so that property is actually clear.
Okay. And what kind of home are you going to put in?
A mobile home.
And what year is it?
2025.
Okay.
That's good. I guess one question is, are there other mobile homes?
Yes, it's a lot. There's one on the lot behind me, there's one lot adjacent to me, and then there's one across from me as well.
Sounds good. Brand new?
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah, pictures of the home.
Well, I have this here. I haven't purchased it yet. I went to go look to see what I wanted, but this is the one that I settled on. Actually, I mean, they're both around the same right here, but I mean, just a little bit. Very
So the house that was on there, it had the utilities and everything, and so you don't have to worry about that, you'll be able to.
Yes, I just need to work with the city to get everything hooked up.
Yeah. Why don't you show them? Any other comment?
Any other comments or questions?
No.
I make the motion that we accept,
That we approve.
this variance.
Second. All right, we have a motion and a second to approve the manufactured home variance. All those in favor? All right, congratulations.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm glad I said that. Because I was getting ready, I got my first grandbaby. I want to see her.
And you're not leaving it with her?
No!
We can rescind it. We got you within the 13.
Well, no, we know when my whole world there was, I just want to visit.
I hate to be visiting you.
All right, council, item C, discuss and take action necessary from Gerald Dieter regarding San Jacinto TV. Good evening, Mr. Dieter.
Good evening. Can I pass out the cards?
Of course.
Okay. Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody got one?
Thank you, Mayor and council members. As you know, my name is Gerald Dieter. We have lived in Cold Spring for 20 years now, and we consider this our little corner of heaven. And when we came here to Cold Spring, we brought with us our business. And our business is multimedia services unlimited. And we started out with business printing, advertising specialties, and wearables. We've been in business 59 years. And
I'm always looking for ways to expand our customers' exposure. When it comes to the advertising industry, there are over 5,000 suppliers for the items that I mentioned, the business training and the advertising specialties and wearables. So when we were visiting, we're regular customers of the Texas Grill and have been ever since we moved here, even at his old location. As we were having a dinner, we looked up at one of his 2 TV screens, and we saw that you have, at that time, a signage program. And me being in the advertising business, I'm kind of immune to institutionalized advertising. And what I saw there is, I believe there were 7 different ads on there. But they were all together, and there was nothing really to draw your attention to. And so the situation, and I said, what is it that we can do to improve upon this? And Ray has come up with a way to do it. And with your permission, I'd like to ask Ray to come up and take the ball and run with it.
Thank you.
Thank you, Counsel. Thank you, Mayor. My name is McCoppin. I was a county commissioner in Precinct 1 for years. So, anyway, and as Mr. Leader was talking about, I'm a kind of I've been working with computers a long time. And I kind of saw that and got into the digital signage. And so we put together a digital signage network. And I was over here the other day talking to Miss Cherry in the library. And anyway, she told me that they originally had one of the original televisions with the memory stick that was operated. And I asked her if she would be interested in possibly going with us and putting on one of our devices in there. I explained to her what ours did. Part of the difference in ours is it's internet-based, so it's hooked up to the internet, and it has a content management system back behind it, so you can actually put a notice up on the screen, and it can have an expiration date, and it'll automatically take it off when that time comes around. It'll automatically, if you know the hours of the business, it'll automatically turn the television on and off. It'll do all those things, and it's got all kinds of we can actually even schedule when things will be displayed down to the minute. So you can display stuff at lunch versus stuff in supper time. You can do all kinds of different things with it. Plus, on top of that, we're not completely 100% advertising for local businesses. We also have public information like weather, local weather, heat advisories, those type of things. And hopefully, eventually, we'll get hooked into with our county emergency management, and if they have like we had the fire down here, the chemical fire, we'd be able to notify everybody via the television. We have that capability. We just have to get hooked up with them and get it all set up. And so that's mainly the reason I wanted to be here. We were going to provide all the equipment, and it was going to be mostly exposure to shepherd businesses and public information, weather, that type of stuff. And we actually do some stock market information, like local, or I say local. There's not very many local businesses on the stock exchange, but, you know, stock of interest people. And so we do that, and then also do a lot of whatever else we can find. We also have I have a YouTube channel, so you can go look me up on YouTube under San Jacinto County TV. And I filmed here before, but I do a lot of the county commissioner meetings. I've done some city program meetings, and as I grow a little bit, we'll do more here too. So that was kind of my intent, was to get permission to move forward over at the library.
Free of charge?
Mm-hmm.
Well, if it's free.
Wow. It's fantastic.
How many customers, because I've seen it in the grill.
Right.
How many customers do you have?
Right now we got one that we're waiting on them to get their television mounted, and we have 3 others. But it's all about, you know, for the businesses, it's all about trying to get the impressions to the people. And so that's what we're trying to do, trying to get in some public places so that we can get more impressions to the local businesses.
I like the idea that we can also have on there events that are coming up. And like the Chamber of Commerce
Absolutely.
event and so on. So we could have that on there. That's
Christmas parade.
Yes.
All those.
Exactly.
Would you be willing to do the one that's in City Hall?
Yes, sir.
Deborah, you just do, how do you do yours now?
Slideshow from PowerPoint
Yeah.
with the jump drive.
Yeah.
Would you be willing to do both, or?
Yes, sure.
Okay.
Sounds like a great idea.
And are giving the rate for customers.
Yeah, our rate runs about $50 a month, but then if you pay for the full year, you get a reduction. And then I'm gonna say people that if people have a television, we usually give them, if they're a storefront and have a television, they get a little discount as well. And then the people that I call them, the business card type people that are basically don't have a storefront, don't have a place where people see because what we're in business is we're selling impressions, right? You understand that kind of stuff? Yeah.
Yes.
And so if you have a storefront and you have a television, that's of some value to us.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, the chamber would love to be. People don't read papers as much. A lot of people don't get on the internet.
Yes.
This would be a way to get out there the information that there's an event coming up.
Yes.
Right? Whatever it is.
You like a bulletin board?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Well, maybe one of these days there might be, if our sign network grows big enough, maybe we can put one out on 4 corners. And there you go.
Well, I had that thought a long time ago.
We could work on that together sometime.
Well, do we need a motion for this, or?
I think we have to approve it.
Yes. I make the motion that we approve this wonderful idea of Mr. McCoppin and Mr. Counsel.
All right, so council, we have a motion to approve the venture. We have a second. All those in favor? All right.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, council, item D, discuss and take action on a request from Brandon Eubanks to install a speed bump on Beverly Drive.
Mr. Mayor, Councilman, good evening.
Good evening.
I don't know if you've seen me around town before. I've lived in Shepherd, Texas now since 2017. I live at 701 Beverly Drive, along with Mr. Hunter Rogers and his family.
I've been here since '06.
I assure you, it has been a blessing. I wish my topic was of a lighter nature. We have a serious threat on Beverly Drive. The speed limit is posted 25 miles an hour. In front of this man's property, between Cathy Street and Jill Street, you have a straightaway. Connected to each end of that straightaway are some curbs. The problem is traffic hitting that straightaway. It's not going 25 miles an hour. Now, since 2017, I've had the opportunity to observe the traffic on this road and come up with some numbers for you. I welcome those numbers to be challenged. 1 out of every 6 vehicles on that road is traveling the speed limit, 25 miles an hour. 1 out of every 6 vehicles on that road is you and me. We are the unintentional speeder. We've all done it before. It's just part of being behind the wheel. We see the posted speed limit sign, we look at our speedometer, check to make sure we're obeying it. Oh my stars, look at me. I'm going a little faster than I ought to be. Let me do something about that right now. These two demographics are not the problem. The problem comes in with the next two. Every 2 vehicles that travel Beverly Drive is the casual speeder. I'm going to go the speed limit that I deem safe, regardless of what's posted on that sign. And I came here this evening prepared to address the second or the last demographic, 2 out of every 6 vehicles on Beverly Drive as the speed demon. They're not demons, they're people, just like you and me. So I will refer to them as fast and furious. These vehicles want to see how fast they can go from this set of curves down that straightaway to the next set of curves. They've traveled that road many a time. They're used to it. They know that law enforcement officers cannot be any law enforcement officer will tell you he cannot be everywhere all the time. He can also not be in one place all the time.
Brandon is a retired sheriff's deputy.
I tell you, keep that to myself. Anyway, the solution that I present to you today can be there all the time. And I'm not asking for one speed bump. I am asking for a series of strategically placed speed bumps to bring these vehicles that are traveling at twice or better than speed limit on that particular stretch of road to where they need to be. If they cannot govern themselves, we need to put something in their way that will govern their speeds for them. I'm not good at this. It's been quite some time since I've stood and spoke before people. It is scary to see and watch these vehicles up and down this road. We experienced one today. I experienced one on Thursday. He crossed into his oncoming lane. I was standing at my mailbox. I decided the best course of action for me to take. I realized I looked like a magnitude athlete. I can no longer move as fast as I used to. Was to stand behind that mailbox. In hindsight, I thought I put a little too much faith into that mailbox. I looked up that vehicle, was completely in the oncoming lane, coming straight for me. I put my arms out in the hopes that he would see me, and I made peace with my maker. He didn't hit me. However, by the time he passed me, the majority of his vehicle was still in the oncoming lane. It is not a law enforcement issue. Again, those men and women are doing everything they can with the limited resources that they're given. If nothing else, they are the people men. I intend to do my best to present to you the seriousness of this matter to preserve life. This is going to be my final voyage into the world of civic matters. I pray that it has been a successful one. And I'd like to thank you from the bottom of my heart for your time and attention in this matter. There are women, there are children, there are the elderly that are involved. Thank you.
Thank you.
May I speak?
Of course.
Eloquently, as Brandon put it, he covered all of these major topics that we were concerned about. This all essentially came to a head starting 2 weeks ago when I was at that same mailbox and was forced to back into the tree line that borders the ditch in order for me to maintain my health. And I have some serious health issues, and I brought this to his attention then, and then this past week he had his incident. So this is to us a serious threat just getting to our mailbox, and we would appreciate your consideration and time and thought. We know this is going to be an expense. We weren't coming in here lightly. We came in here with statistics and histories. That stretched street there, when I came here in 06, was very quiet. We love the neighborhood. We appreciate the talk the gentleman was talking about, being able to do what you want to do on your property, right? Well, in the past 3 years, that history has changed due to changes in residences and the population has gotten younger around us. And they do not take the same levity that you and I would take on an average day as due cause of respect for those trying to traverse back and forth across the street. So I appreciate your time and your effort. I hope we cover the top adequately.
Thank you.
Thank you. Well done.
So it's an absolute waiting to happen, if there hasn't been one already, because we've had other people in similar circumstances, not that one, but we've had other roads where people have complained bitterly about people racing down their little straight road, and animals, old people who can't move quickly and so on, have nearly had accidents. It's on the way to Pluto's Bank. That was decided.
So, Kenneth, does the state doesn't prevent us from putting a speed bump on our own street yet, do they?
No, they do not. Not at this time. Not yet, because there's no, give them a little while. But no, you can definitely, it's a matter of an ordinance. Do you have speed bumps already anywhere in the city?
Oh, well, we do.
Yeah. Okay. Well, then I can draft an ordinance to cover that, and then we can just put all the streets that currently have speed bumps in that ordinance as an amendment that we can, as the population grows, we have other residential neighborhoods that need speed bumps, and the city council finds, then we can just amend the attachment and add those streets in there and vote on it, and we'll be good.
It sounds like you need more than one street bump.
It is quite a long stretch. I think once one is traversed, there would be an attempt to get back up to speed. Also, and if I might add briefly, in order to protect the city of Shepherd, please don't forget the caution speed bump sign. I think that will resolve all the video.
Yeah, that's part of the ordinance. That's why we you got to put the ordinance together. That way you're covered, and you have the authority.
So I think there's two parts of this. I think the ordinance part is obviously the first part. But I think the second part is having Matt go out on site, maybe meet with y'all, look at the street, and maybe strategize on the best position.
And it may be something also, I wouldn't hesitate to reach out to the engineers at Bureau Veritas and see because they actually have measurements for distance and how many and how they spread them apart. They have all that big brain engineer stuff to figure out the proper distances for those to be safe, and the right angle of the speed bumps and the width of the speed bumps and all that mess. So it can be done pretty easy.
All right, so I think that would be let's draft an ordinance and get an ad to evaluate it.
We need a motion.
I can't make a motion.
I make a motion that we draft an ordinance to begin the process of getting speed bumps put on certain streets around this town. I mean, like you said, the younger generation, they do not care. They got a new truck, new car, and they want to see what it'll do, and they turn off one road and they get a straight fix. I know, because I have one. And they do it. I mean, they sit down at the end of the road trying to catch them, but, you know, like you said, they can't be everywhere every minute. And,
They can regulate,
I make a motion.
they can regulate that to speed limit 59.
In defense of the young people, I had an old person on my road drive by and take my rear view mirror off my truck.
I'm videoed them. I still have video where they fly in front of my house. I mean, nothing against other people, but they just don't care.
So council, we have a motion. Do we have a second?
Yes, second.
All those in favor? All right, we'll get this looked at. Thank you very much. Thank you. All right, item E, discuss and take action on a request from the Impact Center to waive permitting fees for 2 cement slabs. So council, Brenda Myers, her mother's having surgery?
She had surgery. She was very, very sick, and we're very worried. And I think she came through the surgery okay, but she's still in hospital.
So what she's asking for is she wants to do 2 cement slabs at the Impact Center. One for a basketball court. What was the other one, Deborah?
Put a barbecue pit on.
Oh, I did put a barbecue pit on.
Well, the barbecue pit is one thing. Basketball court is kind of substantial.
It's 50 by 60? Okay.
1
And they're going to use it for, just put chairs on when they have stuff on their stage.
Yeah, they're going to build a stage, yeah. Mm-hmm. But we're not paying for the slab, we're paying not paying for it, they're being asked to waive the permitting fee, right?
Yes.
How much is the permitting fee?
So actually, they're asking for us to pay for the permit fee because we don't get the permit fee. The folks that we contract with,
Bureau Veritas.
yeah, they're the ones with the permit fee.
She has 2 quotes. She has 2 quotes for the 50 by 60. The most expensive one will have a $304.11 permit fee, and then the smaller slab for the barbecue pit will cost $139.62. And I didn't do the total math. So less than $500.
Yeah.
Here's my question, from the legal standpoint. The Impact Center, is this basketball court? I don't know anything about the place. Is that a place for the children or the local public to go, for the kids to go play basketball? Or is that a private?
Private.
Okay.
And it is geared towards children.
And it's public, like kids from the neighborhood can just go there from the city?
Especially troubled children, and
Keep them out of trouble, keep them on basketball.
giving them something else to focus on.
Besides
I think there's a meeting once a week on Thursday where children, youth get up and talk about their problems, and quite a few of them are trying to kill themselves. And some of us succeeded, but don't come back. You know, they've had problems and killed themselves. So she comes up with as many different ways of engaging the youth that she can. It's a foundation for that purpose.
I just have to make sure that it passes the public purpose doctrine. If you're going to spend city money on something, and that includes giving them a pack of city paid for notebook paper. I know that sounds crazy, but I'm just following the law. It just has to serve a public purpose, and that is obviously a public purpose. It passes. I just want to make sure you're not somebody just going to build a private basketball court, charge kids to use it, and then want the city to pay for it. No, this is fine. It's good.
We've had it before, haven't we? The council have had before in different projects that they've come up with. This idea of a stage, somebody is actually donating the price of the wood and how they're going to build this thing, which would be quite a lot of money, for this stage, which they're going to use for like plays, musical things, all that sort of stuff, get the kids up there and get them to focus on something else outside of themselves. So it's all going towards that.
The smaller slab will be up close to where the restroom is that's outdoors, and the purpose is to feed people in a disaster. The basketball court, I think, is going to be others like where the volleyball court was, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
It's at the back, but I don't know exactly.
Yeah, towards the back.
Behind the building.
Behind it to the side. Yeah.
I think it's, as long as it passes all the inspections, and it's built to standard.
If somebody else is actually helping them with that, whether they're paying for the whole thing or not, I don't know, but it's on their Facebook page, I remember there's an awful lot of people helping out with this.
We're good college.
Sounds like we need a motion. I'll make a motion that we use city funds to pay for the permitting for impacts on it.
Thank you.
Okay, we have a motion,
I'll second that.
and we have a second. All those in favor? Okay. Alrighty. Item 9, approve the previous minutes of meeting minutes.
I make a motion that we take minutes.
Do you have a motion? Second, all those in favor? Alright, approved. Approved monthly payment of bills.
Pay those bills.
Second. You have a second, all those in favor? Announcements? No announcements? July celebration, July the 5th?
Yes, July
Lots
the
of
5th.
fireworks and vendors and all of that?
Fireworks. Yes, 9 o'clock fireworks. Before that, starting in the afternoon at 12, outside vendors, food vendors, and so on. But we have games for kids, we have music, we have all sorts of things going on. The inside the community centre will open at 1 for the inside vendors, and we're going to have from the boutique, marketplace, their vendors who are there in the morning and finish around lunch. Hopefully you will come on up. And we're going to do a deal together, and we're going to share the proceeds of their money that they put into it, not their fees or anything. Their fees is what we're going to use. Half of that will go to the Chamber for scholarships for next year for the high school. So that's a great way to go. And they have some wonderful people in that marketplace. The bread, the sourdough bread, lady, fabulous stuff. I'm sure great bread, all sorts of wonderful cookies and buns and you name it, they're all there. Somebody with eggs and chickens and leather goods and it's wonderful. It's fabulous. So looking forward to that.
Thank you. Item 12, motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn.
Do we have a second?
No, we're going to stay here.
All those in favor? We are adjourned. Thank you, council.